D20.
6.
Boom. 12.
8.
For a second there, I thought you were going to say 18.
8.
Okay, so I got a 12 and 8. What was yours, Michael?
Oh, I got the 6.
Okay, so Heidi, so Virtue's going first, and this is an interesting one. Alrighty then. Virtue, if you somehow had access to the information of the modern world, what parts of it would you bring back home?
Ooh.
Yeah, like if you could suddenly got a peek at a smartphone, you could suddenly like figure out all kinds of stuff, be it medical, technology, or just innovative things, random information, or just the stories and the fiction that's out there. What would you grab real quick to bring back here before like the phone disappeared?
Ooh. I would say the ability to heal severe chest stab wounds. What else would she grab? How to make friends, maybe. Information on how to make friends.
Book on how to make friends.
So just like probably like a good digital library, like you could probably, if you could make a magical quote unquote tablet that just had like them big ass libraries.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No, that's fair. You can get a lot in that if you're looking for just medical or just some good advice books, self-help books. There's a lot of those written now that could be funny. Just tossing those into the world.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, books on how to make friends and then how to heal severe chest wounds.
That's oddly specific.
Yeah, very specific.
Indeed.
Indeed.
Oh yeah. Also, if anyone's a fan of Final Fantasy, the new demo is out, and apparently any progress you make in the demo carries over to the main game.
Oh, nice.
That seems pretty sweet. Alright, Roy, I believe you're next.
Yeah.
And this is the... Oh, I remember this one. Yeah. The character had... What would your character's social media accounts be if they were in modern day? Like, what would they be doing, if anything at all?
Nature vlog.
I'd like to think Roya would be an influencer.
Would they be on, like, Twitter or Facebook, Instagram, all the, Twitter, all the Golden Globes?
I feel like Roya would...
TikTok.
Yeah, definitely have a social media profile in all of them. What would she be doing? Either like alcohol and drink making content, or she would be trying to do trick shot videos with her arrows, and that is how she would make her name known.
Fantasy Dude Perfect.
That would be interesting. There'd probably be a couple, like, some failed compilations she'd maybe make later.
Absolutely.
I could actually see her doing, like, a mini class and, like, this is how you don't do it, versus this is when they got it right.
Yeah. I feel like she would want to start off as, like, a trick channel, but it would probably end up more just being her fails, and that's how she gained popularity.
It's got to be an ironic name as well.
Makes sense. Yeah, no, that's true. Alright, and we're going to V. And yours was... Oh, that's cool.
6. Yeah.
And with this one... it's that classic. If you were given 3 wishes, 1 for yourself and 2 for others, they essentially had to be given away, otherwise you couldn't use your own. who are you giving the other wishes to? Because that's the only way you can use yours.
Do they have to be alive?
Yes, because they have to. Essentially, everyone has to use their wish. So essentially, for it to work.
Okay. Can I give more than one to the same person? Or do I
Different
have to
person
give-
for each. Yeah,
Okay.
no, you have to give. So essentially, you have to pick two people that you're going to give an immense amount of power to.
Okay.
But you get a piece of that yourself for whatever it is you'd want to do. Who's getting the extra? Who are you giving like the modern machine gun going back in medieval England just to say, okay, everybody, good luck with whatever you choose to do,
Whatever you choose to do, good luck. You're gonna.
and you all just walk away as walking armories.
Let's see. Probably one. Oh no, one to Irina, I think. Because, yeah. Who do I give the last one to, though? He's I guess. You know what? I think I'd make Virtue and Roya rock, paper, scissors for it. That's 2 out of 3.
Oh, so you'd straight up tell them, I'm about to give you a wish, which you could use to say revive a person from the dead or make yourself rich.
Man.
I mean, if you guys want
Anything goes with this power. I'm about to like give one of you guys it, but good luck.
I
Oh
gotta
my
like.
gosh, that would be amazing.
Yeah, because part of this thing is like full disclosure. Like you have to tell the person, look, I was given 3 wishes that I have to like split off, one for me and 2 for others in order for them to work. Do you want one?
Yeah.
Roya would
That's one.
100% cheat to get that wish.
Oh,
100%.
I mean, at that point, again, like, and if you like, assuming you like, again,
I'd be careful with V saying like how many he has, because V only says I've got wishes. It doesn't specify like I actually have one more. Just want to see you two compete over it. I can see them two like going against you. Like
I'm assuming Roya. I mean, no, Virtue would also very much want that.
Oh, absolutely.
I know enough about our past. Oh man, because like, I mean, the nice thing to do would just be to give one to each of you,
But they're your wishes. You go ahead and use
Well,
them
I
as
mean-
you just
well, I mean, I
wish.
can only get one of them, and only if I give 2 others to other people.
Oh, right.
And I got a decent amount of dead friends right now, and also I assume this is like I don't know like more than I would know currently.
you're given a bit of information. This is a Shenron level wish where you could, if you word it right, get a lot of people back from a single big incident, or you
Yeah.
can just do something ridiculous with it. It just all depends on how you choose to use the wish.
Yeah, I gotta. I mean, I guess this partially would just go based off of stuff that V wouldn't necessarily know, but like, could I give 2 to myself because of reasons?
You could certainly try, but you've been told that it wouldn't work. So you could definitely try, and then when it peters out, you're like, I guess that's.
Yeah, no, that's fair. No, I think I'd stick with at the moment, like the 1 to Irina, 1 you guys get to compete for it. Yeah, maybe make it less of a rock paper scissors thing, more like you got like a week, gain my favor, and I'll choose who. I'll choose who gets the
You
wish.
get a week in my favor.
You can be the biggest
Hmm.
kiss ass.
I could be the biggest kiss ass, or I could tell you, hey, you've been poisoned. I have the only enemy.
I mean,
I
Roya
guess-
is not opposed to
Yeah.
using dirty methods to get what she needs.
Yeah, admittedly, that definitely puts things in Roya's favor, unless Virtue is willing to really kiss up, really kiss up, literally and figuratively.
Ah.
V is not the most deep person.
No, Roya would 100% honey trap V.
It's both hilarious and then just you could see it happening so easily.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
The best I
Anyway.
could see is like Virtue going for like a heart-wrenching sob story, but
Mm-hmm.
like unless you roll those natural 20s and the heartstrings, probably won't happen.
Yep.
All right, and
Yep.
that does settle up the warm-ups now, and we jump back in as we join our heroes after they finish that fight with the bats and had a brief conversation with the mysterious persons that gave them some advice, some cards, and then just kind of did a weird kind of teleporting away. You guys have one head of a large bat that's, freakishly star-shaped, which goes with what you've been told is what you're looking for the creatures who've eaten these things. You've been, after venturing deeper inside, came into the crossroad of 4 different paths, choosing one completely at random, as one of you is currently, I was going to say nursing, but more just holding a new bat companion, quote-unquote, and the other one's just following behind, as all companions do. You guys chose the immediately first one, like on the left, and that just took you past some corpses that one of you mistaken or didn't notice entirely. Investigating those, you figured out someone took them out pretty quickly, used some weird kind of something with a blade, and then something with some magic. Found a card that could do some interesting things, and making it past that tunnel, and that's where we left off. What would you guys like?
Some neat stuff.
I mean, I suppose gathering some barbecued bat wings for a potion would be prudent.
Barbecued.
Mm-hmm.
And y'all do you, whatever hell you guys want to make it.
Alright. I'll pick up a wing or two, just snap them off like a giant potato chip.
And just show them to the bat that, Roy is currently trying to tame. So like,
it's okay.
yeah, no.
I mean,
He's not going to see his brethren being eaten.
I took a couple of the wings already, so
I just took a whole bat.
I think you skinned the big one because that gave you the most material. I think the other 5 are still unaccounted for. I don't know if you skinned all of them.
yeah, I think it's specifically mostly the wings for the big one.
Can I check for any magical properties these bats might have? I'm sorry, I know I wasn't here to help really fight.
Oh, yeah, no, go ahead.
Alright.
Roll that. Go for a quick investigation or arcana for the choice.
Okay. Investigation or arcana. Okay. 19?
That'll be enough. Nothing about these seems to be innately magical, other than they're a little bit bigger than any normal bats you've seen, so you're not sure if that's just indigenous to the island itself or something to do with just them being naturally bigger.
Okay. And these guys aren't the creatures we were going after that were ruining the farm, were we?
One of them was.
One of them.
You don't believe so? One of the creatures you found had the telltale marks of eating whatever it was that they had, but the fact that only one of them instead of all of them probably insinuates that these guys weren't the main ones, but probably were able to steal one.
Hmm.
Steal a little crystal as a treat.
Continue walking.
Yep.
On these
Well,
corpses or bodies.
There are currently 4 corpses back there that, if I remember correctly, you guys may or may not want to, completely break down and wrap her apart, because this is the stuff could get you some good trade in both the arena and likely with normal traders.
I want to take some meat off of any one of these corpses so that I can feed it to my bat friend when he wakes up.
yeah, I want to start. What were the creatures again? Sorry, it's been a week. So,
One of them was one of those large, stark land sharks you faced. The other three were large, cobra-like land sharks. They were bigger than the land shark, had a little bit elongated neck, like a cobra head, but they were on essentially rhino-like bodies. It's a bit disturbing because they're fully scaled. Two of them are green, the other one was like darker purple. Had like the full viper hood and everything. It's a little disconcerting, but you found them dead. These things looked like they tried to get something and were immediately just taken out.
Yeah. So I'm thinking I'm just gonna start pulling the teeth out, and I think, if I get all of them, which there's going to be plenty of teeth, then I'll start going for scales as well. I think those things are going to be some of the most. All
right, I need you to roll me a survival check. And question: what are you using to try and remove this? Essentially, moving, like going for a dagger or any tools or anything. What are you using specifically for this job?
Yeah, I've got daggers, and I've also got like a hammer, like a tool hammer. I assume part of the adventuring gear, but got a hammer. Should I bring a crowbar? No.
That's enough so it doesn't impose like a disadvantage, but if you want to like make it easier when you do this kind of thing, you can ask in town for specific supplies for harvesting sheep because they've got those because of it being so useful.
Should have got.
But yeah, no. As long as you guys have got something, you should be able to roll. That survival should be a straight roll.
All right. I'm assuming everybody else is going to be doing their own stuff. So, let's see. Oh, 2.
Oof.
This is not necessarily my forte, or not entirely my forte.
Good question. Was he the only one doing this, or did anyone else,
I
Does anyone else
was
think that-
trying to harvest meat off of these creatures.
Okay, you can roll your own.
Virtue. I get it on this. I'm kidding. You can do your own thing.
I suppose so.
17.
All right, Virtue, how would you like to assist?
I'll assist by holding the creature's wings and or legs, while we butcher / skin / loot these creatures.
Kind of bracing, it sounds like.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, tell you what. Give me a quick strength check just to see if you're able to get enough in there to actually help him. Get this, and
Okay.
he'll get advantage.
All right. Let's see. That would be an 11.
Unfortunately, you're trying to help him, but you can't just keep slipping. These things are big, heavy, hard to move. Literal.
I'm a
the DC
weakling.
Mine was it was a 12. I just beat a 12 and you help him, and
Damn.
okay, so she's trying to help you. She really is, but it's a lot harder than it looks to carve out. And if you've ever done this in real life, breaking down like a full animal, it's hard.
Roya looks over
Mhm.
and chuckles slightly at their attempts.
Damn it, I should be better at this. You see its mouth is like still like it's got mucus in there.
Ooh.
No, the weird thing about this animal is it was killed so cleanly that and this is literally like within the hour. So this thing is still fresh. Some of its fangs are still dripping some poison, like it was ready to bite somebody and fuck them up real good, but then they're just there dead. The blood is slowly seeping out. These things, if you were taking them to a butcher now, they give you top dollar. But for the most part, you're trying to like jag, and you're noticing these things are tough because even dead, they're putting up resistance to you trying to break them apart. So these things are very tough.
Very tough.
I rolled a 17 on my survival check for meat.
Which of the animals were you going for? And if you could just you had one land shark and 3 of the rhino vipers.
I'd probably go for one of the rhino vipers. I feel like the bat would prefer its meat. I'm going based off assumption. I don't know what bats eat.
Black or green?
We'll go black.
Cool. And you rose at survival. Give me a quick. What's your passive perception?
16.
16. And as you're cutting away, and you are able to more or less find, with the slice that's already existing in these creatures, using that as a starting point to start carving up these things a bit. You're almost halfway skinning them just to get like a better chunk of meat, and you are able to get roughly a good 3 pounds of this stuff. And if you choose to have it just as a giant bulk or just dice it up, that's yours if you want there. And there's a nice carving to this thing. But with that 16, you also notice very quickly that these things are poison. This one specifically, and you are able to cut around it. You notice it quickly enough. There are some veins that go around the muscle that, if you notice when struck, essentially bleed out into the surrounding area. This light purple substance. It seems to just tint the meat ever so slightly. So, part you cut out, you checked already. Doesn't seem to be anything there.
She will kind of rummage through her stuff a bit before turning towards V and Virtue. Do any of you guys have vials, empty bottles, something I could store liquid in?
Let me check. I do believe I do.
Nope.
Ration, sickle, crowbar, python, tinderbox, components pouch. I don't know if that helps. Not
I mean, I could
necessarily
empty
vials,
out
though.
my water flask, but I'm kind of thirsty. He takes a sip from
Then
his
drink
water
it
flask.
all, and then give me your water flask.
Not
Killing
that
2 birds
thirsty.
with 1 stone.
Not that thirsty.
Well, I'm sure we'll find more of these creatures again. They seem abundant.
Could you maybe
But-
slather them on your arrows, and that way you can use
I
them
already
in the
have
next
poison
encounter?
arrows.
Ah. Well, it seems a bit redundant then.
Extra poison, double poison damage. Or do
Did
they
no one
cancel
really
each other
pack like an
out?
empty bottle of any kind?
No.
I guess not. That'll be something to get.
V hasn't bought a ton other than the stuff that he already has.
The only healing I've done are with the sticks. So I can't even say I've used a health potion or anything. And all of my drinks have been from
Yeah.
mugs.
It's just you've
at
just
the bar.
been eating Pocky.
Oh,
Is that the consistency?
delicious.
Think a Butterfinger-sized Pocky is what you've been eating. in dreams.
It's delicious.
Doesn't sound half bad.
Well, I got what I needed. Are you guys ready to go?
Well, these things are being kind of
Looking
set
over at your attempt to massacre this already dead creature.
Have I gotten anything at all, or is this just all been tough?
This entire thing has been tough. You got a chipped tooth, and like, you think you might have bent your blade a little bit, but that's about it. You can maybe make a necklace out of it.
You know, if you need my help, you could have just asked.
Via's just gonna kind of breathe heavily.
Or
You
just
want to
start
help with this?
Sure, you said you wanted teeth? Teeth.
Teeth, scales, claws, whatever we could get. These things aren't gonna. They could be worth quite a bit. Look like from what people were selling out in that arena.
Sure thing. But I want a 70-30 split on what you get from this.
Listen, how about we just split the. To be clear, are you meaning I get 70 and you get 30?
No.
40-60.
80-20. I get 80, you get 20.
If you keep your 20, I take my 80 off the top.
Can I just like keep on working on this and like make another roll if I spend more time on this?
You can. It will get just a little bit tougher, but you wasn't high to begin with.
I also want to roll a survival to try and get scales and teeth and whatever he was trying to get.
You've got 3.
You get that one. You get that one over there.
You've got the one that looked different. There are 2 other green ones no one's touched, and the bear one or the shark one that you tried and can try again if you choose to. But you've got plenty of stuff to start going for. Question is how you're going to carry it or do anything with it.
Well, I mean,
in the scarf it goes.
Got the scarves, the cloaks. We got the dimensional.
No, what I mean, are you going to wrap it in anything, or just going to grab a raw piece of whatever this is and just hunk it in the, scarf, cloak, or bag?
Well, that's another reason why I'm going for teeth and scales, because those are going to travel better.
I am never planning to use this cloak ever again after this, so it's going right in the bag.
Alright.
Not bag. But I am also going to try and, on the same guy that I was hawking meat off of, to try and get some scales or teeth from him.
Any specific way you're doing this? Any specific tool?
Just with my dagger.
Give me a straight roll, survival.
Yeah.
Should I also make a roll?
Yes, indeedy. If Virtue is going to help, she'll need a quick strength check first.
Absolutely.
Or you can do your own, but it'll be a disadvantage.
That's okay. I'll try to help. And that is a 8. Woo!
So a flat roll, I take it.
Still a flat roll.
21 for
My
mine.
rolls suck. I'm about to swap out my
But
dice.
she is
here.
trying.
She sure is.
I'm gonna swap out my dice.
She's trying. She's like trying to lift it up and keep it open, but it's just a really big head, and strength is not her strength.
Mm-hmm. Although it should be, she's a farm girl.
She's also a
But
warlock.
I am rolling
not
very
surprising.
badly.
Okay,
Okay,
that's
but
much.
was she the one doing like all the heavy lifting at the farm, or was she doing like the medium?
Not necessarily, but she was lifting buckets and stuff. I don't know. Let's see. I'm just swapping out my dice.
That's much better. 18.
I blame the dice.
Okay, with this, yes, you are able to take out some teeth. What else were you looking for with this? Teeth, claws, what else?
Teeth, claws, scales.
Were you going for the shark, or were you going for the snake move?
Well, the snake one was like I think you said it was like the shark, but like a little bit different, like more.
No, the shark was the one you guys fought in the arena, but a little bit bigger. Then 2 green snakes, and then 1 like dark purple snake, which is Roy is currently chopping up real good. That's why I asked: were you starting with the shark wife, like the guy you already, or the guy
I guess I'll go with the shark
up in the arena?
Yeah,
okay, then that one you can get leather hide. You can get like the hide that's good for arms and leathers. You can get the teeth and the claws.
Okay, so
For this one, for the claws, you're going to get a full 8. That's a full set for the 2 front ones. So that's good. 2 back ones are unfortunately just paws, so nothing there. Teeth-wise, you get a total of 12. Very sharp, very, very big.
nice.
Just quick heads up, you guys have eaten an hour doing this. You can keep going and just like finish off the ones you're going on and possibly start on the others, but understand time is moving. Like the time is passing.
Yeah, no, time.
Maybe we
Just
come back to these if we.
Oh, I rolled a 21 on my survival.
Okay, and you're going for the purple snake man. You are also able to, depending on what you wanted to do, if you wanted to extract some of that venom, you see very clearly licking out of its teeth, the teeth themselves. This thing, surprisingly, doesn't have claws. Like, it has rhino-type feet, and they look like specifically to stomp anything that's down there. Like, once it has it bitten, it looked like it could have really done some damage by stomping with its upper 2 feet. It's very muscular.
Does it have any horns?
It does not. Would be cool, but gotta write that down.
Dang. I guess then teeth,
Horned
scales,
snake.
and whatever I could chop off from the hooves of this thing.
Yeah, no, you're able to skin this thing a good bit. Got a couple pounds of the skinned scale, so that's something. For teeth, you've got the 2 massive canines that are currently pumped with poison. You were able to remove the sac, so while you haven't successfully taken out a thing, you can take a small pouch of it. These things are technically makeshift daggers, if the need really arises. If you do use them, let me know what happens if they do inject poison.
Okay.
All right. Maybe we can come back here once we're satisfied with the caves and see if we can pick off the rest of these.
Yeah.
Get what you were looking for?
Oh, and then some.
Yeah.
Alright, anyone else doing anything before you guys, I'm guessing you're going to take off?
Continue down this cave. Virtue, remind me, when I sell this, if you want some of the money from that, we can work that out later.
Oh, okay.
Know your worth, Virtue.
V is saying this to build goodwill, but is hoping that maybe she forgets.
Yeah, she probably will forget. It's okay.
But the offer has been
Could be
made.
greedy. It's alright. Not like we're a team or nothing.
Hey, I made the offer. Just
I
remember.
know.
You, Heidi, remember.
Uh-huh.
No.
Impossible.
It is impossible for me to remember.
This is when note-taking comes
You're good,
into
you're
effect.
Oh, Franny, quit your whining.
Alright, but continuing down this hallway.
Yeah. And on we go. The marching order is going to be relevant. I think what we decided, we talked about last time, was me, Roya, Virtue. But if we want to change that, we can do that.
Sounds good.
That works for me.
Alright, as you guys make your way past, you all hit another fork in the road. There are 3 ways to go now.
Oh, perfect, and there's 3 of us.
No. Once again, I think I'd like to, I guess, I don't know if Volroy is just going to continue, like, marching down another just random hallway.
That
But
will
I'll also
depend.
stop again.
Has her bat woken up?
It has not. It is still during the day, and though you're getting closer to the full sunset, these guys still sleeping for a good maybe hour or two after the sun does go down, and then they stay there.
Was he hanging on your neck the entire time you were
Yes.
like? Of course. Are the teeth still in there?
Probably not at this point.
Okay.
They've retracted. But he's still there.
I guess this might be a check, but do I hear anything coming from any particular hallway when I stop to listen? Or do I like smell or feel like hear like air rushing from any direction? I don't know.
Go ahead and give me your choice. It's either a survival at disadvantage or a perception straight roll.
I will roll perception. I've got the same bonus for both. And I think perception at a normal roll will be better than... Yeah. 9.
You know one thing, but you can't describe anything of it. On the left side, it's just a cave. On the middle, there's a funky smell coming there, but you can't quite pick your nose on it, but it's one you're familiar with, just can't remember at the time right now, just it's slipped in your memory. But on the right, there's a weirder smell. You're not sure why it's weird, but you know it's weird.
I smell smells. They smell...
Smelly.
And that's roughly all you get, because all three of these tunnels essentially lead into darkness, but 2 of them are giving off funky smells.
But we get dark vision, but that only goes a short range. I'll communicate this. Do you guys want to go the non-smelly route, the sort of smelly route? That's a little familiar. I can't quite. I feel like it's on the tip of my tongue.
It's
but
there's the non-smelly route, and then there's the one that you smell something, but you don't know what it is, but it is familiar to you. So it's something, nothing out of the ordinary. It's just something that happens. You just can't put your finger on it. It's the right one that's got that weird smell.
Yeah.
How about maybe
sorry,
the one that's not smelly? That sounds safe at least. But if we're heading towards danger, let's go towards the smell. That's where rotting flesh and rancid
Is
poop
it rotting
would be.
flesh that you're smelling?
Huh?
I don't know.
I mean, if you guys want to roll your own perception checks, I think you can do that.
This is going off of what he smelled before and what he
Yeah.
believes is normal or weird, but this is going off of him.
I kind of want to do the middle route, but you guys smell and smell if you smell anything.
Baby.
Oh,
Yes. Okay, perception. That's
That
a
one?
24.
okay, nice.
Did you just now realize you're good at perception?
No, I just made a roll, and it was a nat 20. So it was a good idea to change my dice.
Woo! Smells smelly.
And with that, and you do close your eyes and just give a gentle whiff, and for some reason you start getting a quick, vivid flashes of memory as you remember times a wood fire, days of your past, just normal chores, days going by, and that's what you essentially connect when staring at the tunnel in front of you. Someone has had a fire going. It's out now, but the remnants are still there. The smell, firewood, the odor of what's being put out.
Huh.
So something forward coming that way. The left, again, nothing, not even an echo, which is a bit strange if this place is completely deserted. If it's not, then something just isn't moving. On the right is when you find the oddest bit of thing, because you remember your conversations with certain people, both on the boat and your friend who currently is left for his own devices. He's once had a quick conversation with you about certain things he's worked with, and one of them you've noticed once, a vial of an acidic compound that gave off a very specific scent. And this is starting to smell a lot like that. That's what you're going for the right side. Not entirely sure in what capacity it would be, but that's... One side is something very acidic, the center somebody put out a fire recently. Option C on the far left, an eerie nothing.
Eerie nothingness.
Dang it, do we follow the acid? We could all trip.
I think this is
I don't know if
Is
it's that acid.
chemical acid. I mean, maybe. It could be both.
It could be both. Oh, virtue on acid.
Oh my.
Just all of us on acid.
Find the magical mushrooms.
All of us in acid. That would be a lot less cool.
Yeah. Well, the acid seems... Both the acid and the fire might point to something of manufacture, but the acid could be a natural phenomenon. That might be worth investigating. It could be useful. So, acid path? What do y'all think?
Sure.
Or we could follow one of the wood smoke, which would be something built by a person, an intruder.
I am more hopeful that the wood smoke is our right path.
Actually,
I don't know
yeah,
how crystals and acid mix.
That's a good point. If we're hunting down like something that was smart enough to know that these crystals are valuable or powerful, then I think it's more likely that they're the one starting a fire, unless that they're one that just is lake of acid or whatever that was. Or ends up being.
But no one wants
So,
to go down the nothing hallway, right? Is that...
Well, we don't have any information about the nothing hallway. It could be literally anything, for all we know. Or anything that doesn't have a distinct scent.
I still think it would just be faster if we each take one hallway.
Well, you are correct. I don't know if that's the good idea. Splitting up didn't work out for me.
Well, then maybe the fire. Let's go towards the campfire then.
Go towards the fire. The ring of fire. Sorry.
So we've decided center path, then, correct?
Yes.
Center path. And we can always come back. Potentially. Unless we die. Or it caves in. Or something else happens.
Let's just go down and see what happens.
Let's do that.
Start
Onward,
heading
then.
down the center fire hallway.
Man, this hallway is fire. I'm sorry for the terrible joke.
Oh no. Oh, it's times like these I miss Kimmy.
She kept me in check.
She did.
Okay, in her honor, roll me a d4.
Yes.
Aww.
Do I take psychic damage?
Absolutely.
Listen, I'm the tank, and I'm already taking some damage. Oh, 4. Cool. 4 damage.
You mysteriously stumble, eat shit, and your clothes are currently just awful.
Oh, okay.
Oh no.
Damn it! Just wash this
I.
cloak.
That was a bad fall. Are you okay?
Loose rocks. You know, it's like dust and pebbles on like smooth surfaces, like in a cave like this, that are actually like more dangerous than like other types of terrain. It's not safe. Gonna eat shit and die out here.
You almost did. That was.
Life's short.
I would hate to see you go out that way.
Who
Please
knows
watch
how
your
long we
step.
have. I'm not planning on going that way. That's not how I hope to go. Well, it's better than other things, but not how I want to go.
There are much, much better ways to go out.
There are worse, but less worse ones than there are better ones. Anyway.
Continuing down, do we see any remnants of a campfire? Or do we notice anything in this hallway as we keep going down?
You do go down for a bit, and it does twist and turn into a full-on, almost S, before eventually, roughly 30 feet down, you see a large opening. And the slightest embers in the center of the room, there are a few rock formations in this roughly, with your dark vision, looking to be 60 by 40 cavernous space. The ceiling seems to be a good 40 feet, roughly, judging by those stalactites. And there are evidence of things like tattered cloth, loins, littered across, like loincloths and tattered sheets littered, filthy across on the floor, around and adjacent to what seems to be the remains of a fire that was recently put out.
Okay. Are there any, like, tracks or footprints around the fire that might indicate what was nearby here?
Roll me that survival check. Or a perception check, your choice.
They're both the same. 15.
Something was definitely here, a lot of something. If you're counting at least 6, maybe more. It's a mess. Something surprised them, very much so, and they seemed to be in a hurry to go wherever they were going, which is not here, but it seemed to be a quick stop before they got to wherever it is they were going, and they moved quickly. There's disturbed dirt. It looks to be like they were pulling maybe some kind of cart or crate somewhere, but for the most part, it looked like a quick pit stop before they essentially ventured deeper in the cavern. That's more or less what you can see, unless someone else would like to do anything else.
Your audio is a little spotty for me. I don't know if that's on just my end or everybody else as well.
It's a little fuzzy, but I was able to make it out.
Yeah, I was able to make it out too. It's just a little fuzzy. I wanted to let them know.
But yeah, Roy will relay that information to the party. It looks like we are following a group of something. Probably 6 or so people. Or things. Creatures. I don't know. But they're pulling something. A large cart or something.
Would indicate hidden crystals, I suppose.
Okay, see the crystal, you think? Can I see these tracks as well?
Yes, they're pointed out to you. You can see them in the dirt. They're barely there because some of it is dirt, others is stone, so it's a bit patchy. But it gets you eventually see the pattern
Okay.
where somebody did drag something through this room.
All right. I was curious on like how big this cart looks. Does it look like wheelbarrow-ish size, or does it look like a full-on like large cart?
It looks like something was dragged. Like
Okay.
for sick, you're thinking almost like some kind of primitive sleigh or just a hunk of
Sled.
wood on the ground that something is being pulled over. Because
Okay.
there are definitely grooves in the ground, but they're not tracks of like a wheel like you've seen in carts.
Okay. Then can I roughly guess or estimate like how large the sled was? Or would it be like I can't really make it out?
You can by the tracks, assuming that that's how big the actual thing was, not entirely knowing like the full width or the full height. You're looking at something that's looking roughly like 8x6, and you're not sure what's pulling it because it's a bunch of like smaller tracks, but they're kind of scattered at the moment. But they do very clearly see it being continuously dragged through the cave and across to the other side.
All right.
Also, with that survival check, you're able to tell by the quick glance at the fire, this was put out like very recent. Maybe around the time you guys maybe arrived, maybe a little after, maybe a little before, but that's when this was put out.
I'm guessing that's Roya. We got that.
Yes.
She will relay information.
All right. Then I guess should we follow the tracks cautiously?
Cautiously.
Yeah, with this, you're probably able to piece together that these guys may have been sleeping, and that loud-ass fight with the bats may have woken them up.
Fair. Can we tell, or I guess this probably be a roll, can we tell what type of creatures these look like based off their tracks? Are like they wearing shoes, or are they like webbed claws?
Survival check. This would be with disadvantage to try and identify the creature itself from the
Disadvantage.
chaotic track of footprints. Anyone is free to try this if they so wish. Roy would be the only one who has a straight roll.
All right.
Yeah, I'll try it.
All right. Well, one was a nat 20 and the other was a 14 total.
18.
Was it just to both of you who were doing it, or was Virtue going to try as well?
Virtue.
Sure. Let's see. Oh gosh. 3.
That's fine. No, with these two, you guys are able to put together. You're stuck between thinking this could be some goblins, possibly kobolds, but who knows? It could be some gnolls, possibly in there as well. These tracks are a bit. You don't really find a full, like, complete one to base this off of. Just a few partials but you're confident in like these guesses are likely what you're going to find. Roya, you're able to identify two separate footprints with these because you realize that all these pieces, all of them can make a single foot, so you're likely looking at two separate ones. One of them you can in fact confirm is a kobold. There are at least 6 kobolds, or one that was just moving back and forth for some reason. And there is a secondary one, only partials though. You've got an idea of you're either going for a gnoll or likely a but that's what you pick up.
You cut out a bit there. You said either null or likely a what?
You're likely looking at either a gnoll or a goblin, but you're not entirely sure because this one you only got like the partial. The other one is a kobold confirmed, and you counted at least 6 in this little group.
Okay. She'll turn towards V and Virtue, who she assumes are also looking at the tracks.
Yeah.
So, everyone know what we're up against then?
Seems like it. I mean, do you communicate the whole thing about...
No. She's
Okay.
assuming you guys also managed to pick this up from the tracks.
Got a couple of options, it looks like. Nothing conclusive from what I can tell.
Well, one thing conclusive, it definitely kobolds.
Okay, kobolds.
Hmm.
Yeah,
That,
definitely kobolds.
that's good to know.
Probably around 6 of them, unless they're moving very oddly, but I doubt it. And then something else, either gnoll or goblin, but it's not just kobolds. But for sure, kobolds.
Interesting. They're working together on this, it seems like.
Well, let's go crash their party.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
From what I understand, kobolds can be kind of tricky, so we should keep an eye out.
Smart. Good thing you're in the front.
Want to switch it around?
No, I think the front's the perfect place for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, same marching order?
I think same as before, it sounds like.
Awesome. You guys make your way past this cavern, and you following, occasionally picking up some tracks from like when the stone becomes a bit of a dirt trail. You reach another fork in the road, just 2 paths, left and right, roughly 40 feet down.
Gonna smell in here again. Or I guess the tracks, do they go one way or the other?
Hard to tell. It becomes much more stony this way in, so the tracks that you're following kind of disappear. You could try me a quick perception check if you'd like to see if maybe some clues might be hidden around.
I'm a roll. You guys do your own rolls. I rolled an @1. You should do your own rolls.
Alright, maybe you shouldn't be in the front.
Hey, that's a 16, baby.
He's got eyes and ears, and he almost trips and eats shit, but he catches himself and he just does that like no one saw that.
Oh, Roya
I can
saw
obviously see where I'm going.
that. Roya 100% saw that.
You both did indeed.
Yeah.
My roll is an 18.
All right, and with this, okay, just had to double check to make sure I wasn't giving you all the wrong one. The left is indeed not the way the cart went. That one went right, but from the left side, you do hear something. Just a slight tapping, something. Not entirely sure what it is, but it's not following any specific pattern. It just happens every now and again. It's a bit odd, but it's there. But you know the cart that you want to follow did in fact go.
Alright, left it is.
So you're going left?
I think so.
Yep.
All right, going the literal opposite way that you know The cart was gone. Cool.
Oh, I thought that's where you said it went. Just kidding.
Now, left side, you hear the tapping for like no context other than you hear a weird tapping noise. Right side, that is where you eventually do see some dirt and some disturbances. That was where the whatever was being dragged across was taken.
Is the tapping rhythmical?
Doesn't seem to be following any sort of pattern as far as Roya can tell. I don't know how much she chooses to share, but that is what she perceives.
Interesting.
So then the right one, right?
The right way is the way you know is going to get you directly following this.
Okay, right it is.
Okay?
All
Y'all going right?
Let's do it.
All right, and the right path it is you go. I'm just going to cross something out.
Okay.
And as you head right and follow the tunnel for a bit, curves a bit to the left as it loops around in and out, and eventually you do find another room. This one lit by 2 torchlights on each edge and 3 massive tables. And on these said tables, you find an assortment, as well as on the rack, floor, and somehow some on the ceiling, blood. A lot of blood. These tables soaked in it. It's in the wood, it's stained, and it's some old, but a lot of it is fresh. Good portion of this. No bodies or whatever this was. Or whatever was once here. You do see the tools and what seems to be a few places on the side that seem to be where you can likely, some of you can tell where those who've seen animals be processed, what can't be used is, or where is the waste is thrown away that can't be salvaged for anything.
All right.
Oh.
I think this is what happens when they explode.
Oh boy.
Interesting. Are there any, like, shards of the crystal or bits of crystal anywhere in this room?
Go ahead and roll me a perception, investigation, or quick. No, it'd be both of those two. Or how would you like to do this, depending on how you're trying to do a quick visual of the room, or you're trying to physically look around?
It'd probably just be a quick visual of the room.
All right, then you'll take a perception check.
19.
19, and with this, you do see a small flake. Very imperceptible. It's actually hidden underneath one of the stones on the floor. It looks like it got lodged in there somehow. You pull it out. It's roughly the size of essentially a small fork tip. But it's odd because there's just a little bit of blood on the tip that seemed to be pushed into the ground. You don't see anything else around here, just this one that just seemed partially hidden. And just, like I said, this room there's nothing but blood. Oddly enough, there's no smell to it. And that's odd because, as a good portion of you know, the smell of blood is rather pungent when there's a lot of it in the open air.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're definitely on the right track. And she'll show them the bit of crystal.
Took it, I guess whoever survived the process probably took it further in. Went further in, and hopefully they took whatever crystals they didn't eat, I guess.
What do you do?
Unless you two would like to explore a bit more in this room.
Well, I don't think I want to particularly go rummaging through goblin guts,
Yeah, I don't think so.
old cadavers, gnoll bones.
Shall we continue on then?
Let's do that.
All right, and as you walk past this room, same order, I'm assuming.
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
You walk for a bit, and you come across a new fork in the road, or just a diverging path as one goes to the left and the other to the right. Essentially, if you're looking at the set of map, they're essentially going the opposite ways, no longer going.
Okay.
Mm.
I'd say up and down, but it's really from the perspective of where you start the door.
Yeah, left and right.
Yeah, but you've got a left and a right to go to. How would you like? What do you do?
Another perception check.
Yep.
So,
Go ahead, those who wish to do so.
ooh,
Oh,
perception.
what?
23. I got you.
18.
So 18, 23, and what was Roya's?
I rolled a 1, so that's a 7.
7. You think you're about to do this, and for some reason, Elven ears just twitches and you pick up that tapping again. Stupid noise. Distracting you. But luckily, your two teammates just can instantly see, okay, if you're meeting the trajectory of this map right, and considering just the few bits of like paw prints and scattered little bits of disturbed earth, the whatever was left alive here, or that survived, or was just moving through, went up and to the left most recently. There are some that go to the right, but those are a little older. Those look like they've been there just a bit longer than the fresh ones you were following. But you do see and clearly hear to the right side, there is the sound of something like dripping water. You're not entirely sure what it could be, but that is, you can definitely pick it up. But to the left is the trail that you're currently following.
Let's see. I think V is going to suggest he goes, because we can see down both ways, it looks like, or like if like one of us goes down one way and the other goes down the other, can we like see each other in this area, or is it just not?
No, both paths after roughly 20 feet begin to turn, the tunnel begins to turn off, both of them, both sides.
Okay. We should probably follow the trail, because...
Do you guys hear that tapping sound again?
I do.
Mm-hmm.
But we should...
Suppose we ought to follow that. It'd be like a hammer or harvesting sound.
Which one of us is the most stealthy?
Let's see. I've got a +3 in stealth.
I got a 4. Roya? Probably got a pretty good one. I'm looking at your sheet, and it does look like you have disadvantage, so I don't know if that's not actually the case. Yeah. So... other direction could be leading into their community, and like it might actually be where things are, and like it loops back around, and that's actually closer. But like they take the long way through wherever this is, but that's not a given. So, want to go with the safe option or the riskier option, guys?
Risks. Let's take a risk.
Oh. Roya looks
Virtue
slightly
has spoken.
surprised. Okay. Risk it
All
is.
right.
Might as well see what's going on.
I could sneak down that direction and rejoin you guys, pointing to the way that the cart went, but that could be dangerous. So, what do you guys think?
To split the party or not to split the party?
Listen, Roya has been
Too bad you
advocating to
don't.
split the party these past 3 intersections.
Yeah,
It's too bad
Yeah,
you don't
let's-
have someone who just does it.
She tried. They followed.
well, I mean, you just
That's
led.
on you. You
No.
are not stealthy.
You
I'm
didn't
not.
sneak away.
I have
The
disadvantage.
proper Merce's thing to do is like, we get into a conversation and then like we ask, "Hey, where's Roya?" And you just say,
either
"Oh
choose
no,
to
I
be
left
at the
already."
very front, or you choose to be at the very back. And as soon as that like corner comes, like, and I slow down, and this is my stealth roll GM, and I'm just gonna go check out that sound.
Yeah.
Or I'm gonna go all the way to the front and see if I can like find a new way and beat them to the top.
I need to take a master class from you, Siler.
With that like noise,
Are
Does
you
it
sure?
seem-
The path of the chaotic neutral is an odd one.
chaotic neutral.
I say chaotic neutral because we're never trying for good or evil. It's just dicking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You may help save the kingdom, you may start the apocalypse. That's the honest point.
It's the end of the world as we know it. Sorry. I mean, that's pretty much precisely what Mercis did last session.
Fine.
Like, I'm just gonna go to the other side and see what's going on. That's what.
Right, so as a
Sounds-
group or as people, let me know.
You said it sounds like hammering. Would I be able to tell more about?
It's an odd tapping sound, and the only one who was really able to hear it was Roya because it was so faint. But she did point it out to you, and eventually you guys were able to listen in. You did hear it. It just happens every once in a while,
Well, I
roughly
thought-
like.
Roya rolled a 1 on this one. I got
I
a
did.
23.
The tapping sound that I mentioned was
Yeah, I
not
think-
Yeah.
that.
Okay.
Yeah, the tapping,
Different tapping sound.
definite tapping sound, but it does lead the same way though. It does lead back, but this was it's an odd one because the one you heard, that was something tapping on metal. The one you heard when you hit like the nat 1 and it's still technically you got a 7. That was you heard a wood. Something was tapping on wood.
Yeah, Roy just said
Also
you hear
coming the way
tapping
you
sound.
came.
Interesting.
Yeah. There was a metal clanging that was like way like 2 rooms ago when you hit the first split in the road. That one was tapping on metal. That was the one Roy heard. This new one, you guys heard the water going right side, clear path going to the left, and there's a wooden tapping sound that's behind you guys.
This is either a
But-
very
But the only one who heard that one was Roya because of her natural 1-7.
this is either a very big cave system or it all just loops back to the same area. Circles and circles and all that.
I find it
Okay,
hilarious you guys have inadvertently chosen one of the safer paths and not realized it. Like you're waiting for like that ambush or that other thing. Like you're choosing both the safest path and you've inadvertently made it so because of the actions at the previous game in the beginning.
Yeah.
So maybe we should just
No
keep on going down the cart
consequences.
track.
Uh,
And I know we just had a whole conversation, but maybe that might just be the best option.
V, if you want to go sneak off.
Your choose. Explore this place or go straight there. It's all, like whatever you see, find, don't find, get there in time for, or miss. It's on you.
case
Well, we
you
were
are
also
saying
warned.
that the cart is going down this path, wouldn't it make more sense to go down this path?
Are you? When you say this path, is Roy referring to the other path?
Like following? Do you mean following the trail you've been following since the beginning,
Yes,
or
that
the?
one.
Okay.
We should probably, just stick to that, at least for the time being.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, we can always come back later.
Yeah, we may figure out what the tapping is.
All right.
Inadvertently
And-
later, anyway.
And you're all going together.
Yep.
Yes.
And
Yes.
as you continue this march, and
We
you
explode.
enter into a large cavernous room. Once again, this time an odd, large oval shape with a dip on the left-hand side. You see down there bits of what seems to be a very ramshackled, like target range, small, which you can assume is a kind of little mini arena pit of fighting, as the clear indications of broken weaponry and around. The arrows sticking out of both the floor, the wall, and some of the dummies. As to the farther middle side is a large, oddly well constructed for being in a cave, brick little fire pit that is also currently out. Looks like it was recently used, but is extinguished at the moment. And all along the right side are crates, carts, boxes of unknown. Oh, they're just there. Some do look like they've been busted open and empty, others look like they've been opened properly, others don't look like they've been opened at all.
I heard unknown, and then I guess you cut out because I didn't hear what you said. Unknown what?
Right.
We don't know.
Crates, boxes,
Okay.
satchels. Essentially, it's a small cache of mischievous supplies, things. Some have been cracked and opened. Some look like to be basic pots, tools, different goods. Some look like they've been used. Others looks like they've just been tossed aside. Some of them don't appear open at all. Some of them look like they were actually opened properly. Other ones just busted open with claw and brute force.
Okay.
And lastly, down to the very edge where you see the other opening hole, you see a sleeping, half covered in essentially patch mail armor, is a figure with a large bandana and hood on its head that seems to be like it's guarding the exit there, until you notice that it's slowly bouncing from one side to the other.
Hmm.
Hmm.
And
Interesting.
that is where we'll call it for this week.
Yeah.
Because it is getting a little late. I don't know how long.
Decently late now, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. And this is where we'll put a pin in this. Just to double check, do you guys remember what you were told by the druid? Or did you just... I don't remember if I had...
It's been a hot minute.
He asked you to keep an eye out for a few of his that have gone missing.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, of his herd. I think we did determine it's a herd.
Yeah, so if you did either find them alive to help them out and bring them back, or if they found any of their remains to bring them back so we could give them proper rights and burial and pass.
All right. That is good to keep in mind. Yeah. I guess one question before we entirely wrap up, and we'll probably want to have it described again next session, but do we have, or do we know which direction the tracks continue to go? I assume probably past the passageway he's guarding.
For the most part, this seems to be a one tunnel to one tunnel per cavern. So far, you haven't encountered one that has multiple. You've just been led to openings with multiples. So this place only has one exit before the tunnel itself will either take you to a new room or branch up into a different path.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Well,
Caves.
caves and kobolds, and well, gotta say this is looking to be an interesting one because I don't know, you managed to spook everything before it got there, but does that mean they're all trying to get away, or are they all just huddling up around the most valuable to essentially make a one last stand against one via many? Who knows?
Just as planned. Part of our master plan.
Absolutely.
Honestly, I don't think we made a ton of noise. I think
What's
it's just
easier?
that let out a giant screech that echoed through the entire cave.
The fight you intentionally provoked?
Once again, all part of our plan.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, maybe we could have snuck past, but we wanted to get the head of that big bat anyway. And hey, Roya has a pet now, or maybe
This is true.
She's working on it. I have now decided Roya's going to become a Beastmaster. That is the goal.
Well, who knows? Also, this is just something, if there's someone who could probably help you with that, it would probably be the druid you found. So he
That's what I
might know
figured.
a thing or two about, and you might, depending on how, if you do find those either remains, bodies, or them alive, might be more inclined to help with that. Or you could just trade it in for like a little favor. Like the dude's got some pretty decent either knowledge or magic, you're assuming, being like a local. So, you know, it's always good to have people where you want.
always comes in handy.
Mm-hmm.
Better than making enemies.
Yeah.
It is. It's been fun, guys.
Absolutely.
They're totally not being monitored by another wizard.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
No one ever questioned the moving, magical-looking filigree on the card you found and the one you were given.
I mean, could be an enchantment. Granted, I don't think any of us are. I mean,
There's only
Roya's
one
probably-
person with real magical knowledge that might help, and that's an honest roll on Virtue, who wasn't here for any of it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. No offense
You
to
guys
any
are
of our characters,
fine.
but this is probably one of the dumber parties that we formed.
Absolutely.
You guys are
Have
gonna
to
be.
agree.
To my knowledge, at the moment, only rivaled by probably the Waterdeep group.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
I'd even say, yeah, they probably still come out on top.
No, that Waterdeep team, we are not dumb. We just can never decide on it. We all have our, ideas. We just can never really get
That's
to
true.
how we want to do it.
I will say Celia's not dumb. She just has a lot of bad luck.
It's I guess dumb
True.
isn't necessarily the word, because V also, and he's also got a pretty good intelligence, if that's what we're qualifying. But he's
Reckless.
Not the wisest.
both of them are reckless, I'd say.
Yeah. That's very fair.
I still very much enjoy how Celia and Sidian are basically the exact opposite approach to wizards. Sid is just so paranoid wanting to have backup plans for his backup plans. He's trying to be Batman, everybody. He's trying to be Batman. Celia
Celia's
could
here for
not
the
give a
vibe.
shit.
Here's the thing. Depending on how this goes, and I rolled for this, that was almost Roya. Didn't mention how vampirism or lycanthropy works in my world yet, until you actually come up with some. They actually come with one.
Oh no.
Are you saying Roy is a lycanthrope?
I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying next time you guys get bit by something, maybe check if the animal is that large for like a reason.
Fair enough.
I mean, its bite wasn't that bad.
No.
That's what
No,
she's
I mean-
going off of in her mind.
Yeah, and it definitely hasn't been aggressive towards you since or anything.
No. It's been peaceful. Just there
Just sleeping off.
Yeah.
I'm sure when it wakes up, it won't immediately become hostile or wonder why. Where the hell is its family or friends or whoever those other bats were?
Nope. I'm its family now.
I will also say, though, because if I was still playing Neris, he'd definitely take a different approach to all of this. Probably would have ripped up the cards. we'd probably be at least a couple of crossroads back.
Yeah,
So-
you 100% would have.
And honestly, may have had even worse luck. I don't know. So we've lucked out.
Like
into
I'll be honest, you passed one encounter I thought you would have gone into, a small respite I thought you were going to go into, and the original battle technically was relocated because of the previous fight and blaring siren.
Fair enough.
Because if you hadn't gone with the bats, the this group of kobolds would have still been sleeping here, safe, sound, or so they would think.
Yeah.
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 But
that's
you guys
our
do
lad.
have
Fun.
You guys do have one head. It is confirmed magical. And a pet. And you also met the guy, so who knows if that hadn't happened. Probably wouldn't have gone over to see what the hell the hubbub was. And who knows, you might have met him when he was fighting those things, or you might have missed him completely and gone for one of the other 4 tunnels. Or the other 3 tunnels.
Maybe, yeah. I would also say that. Oh, sorry. Go on.
No, go ahead.
I'd also say that regardless of what happens, we're still making a profit at this point. And again, we can go
at
back
this
and
point, you got a decent little thing going, like you've got the push. The thing is, if you want to make the big money,
yeah.
you gotta need them.
Well, and that's part of why I was like checking on the size of that cart, because 8 by 8, that is a large cart, and if they filled it to the brim with crystals, and it's 100 a pop.
Sure.
100 a pop for every complete one.
Yeah,
But
for every complete.
I think the one who has the official breakdown, I believe, is Roya. He was given the official listing of how they'd be paid.
Yeah, V is very much, because we're still a new group. He's very much before we put this out, let's just pool all of this stuff together and just bring it all together. And that way nobody's gonna try anything shady. Roya.
Roya tries to
And
flash
you're
the most
used
innocent
to
smile
working-
possible.
You're used to working okay, as a team, we can all survive this. You're just I'm gonna take this, this, and this, and you're gonna owe me for it.
Listen, Roya has very much lived every man for herself the past couple years.
Yeah. Yeah, I think V is picking up on that at this point.
I think the last team she was a part of didn't go well.
Hey, ditto!
That's some interesting stuff you can definitely talk over if you guys make it through this and get back and have that tavern. What's that one game called? What the fuck is up with that?
Oh god. Yeah.
Yeah, those. But until then, I'll see y'all guys next time.
Yeah.
See you next time.
Bye-bye.
Take care. Have a good night, guys.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you for hosting, Siler.
Take care.
Not a problem, was my pleasure.